This is actually Rarity visualized, which is pretty interesting. I'm gonna ask you to ponder something very serious right now. There are small kids out there playing Pet Simulator who will grow up to become actual like AAA game developers. And do you know what the two have in common? Like, not the developers, but you know, like Pet Simulator and AAA games. You know what they have in common? They have Rarity systems. And do you really want like this kid right now to beat you in the future? Truly ponder this for a second, right? Do you want this kid to know how to code in a Rarity system while you don't? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, doesn't that just make you feel weak and insignificant? Because the reason I'm making this video is that if I ask you right now, like, hey man, can you make a Rarity system, right? You might be thinking like, okay, yeah, seems fairly simple. Okay, but how do you do that though? So because budget is running low, we're gonna be making a very poor version, our own version of Pet Simulator, okay? Not poor, it just has a different creative vision. Basically, I want to have 4 different rarities, okay? Common, rare, epic, legendary. And so let's do exactly that, right? So we'll have a part here, which will be a common part. And there we go, we got that common, rare, epic, and legendary. Just pretend these are like very high quality pets that have like funny faces and I don't know, ears and tails and like spikes, or I don't know, like bro, pets are becoming so stupid nowadays. Like it was just a tail before, now it's like spikes, machine guns, I don't even know. And so what we're gonna do right now, which is actually very simple, okay, is basically we're gonna take all of these pets, let's say pets, okay, why not? And let's put them into a folder inside of replicated storage, okay? So folder, and then I'll just call this things. So basically, we're gonna take all of these, we're gonna cut them, and then we're gonna paste them inside of this folder. And so what I'm thinking we do, right, is we want a way to actually, you know, get these parts into the actual game, right? Now we could do a thing where like, you know, the player presses a button and then like a part spawns in or gets placed in their inventory or whatever. But something that I think would be a lot more interesting to try out is, unironically, what if we just do a while, not whole? I mean, whole does sound like an interesting keyword for code. Every single 0.1 seconds, okay? So task.wait 0.1. What if we just take a part and we just summon it above this spawn location? So let me show you, right? And then yeah, we're just gonna set the parents of this new part to be equal to the workspace. And so the way this is gonna look if I run the game right now is, yeah, there we go. As you can see, it just summons a bunch of these parts, right? And it actually is clogging up the workspace. I just kind of realized that. So we probably should make a folder just to put all of these parts inside. We're gonna put it inside of spawned parts. How do we actually make it into a rarity system, right? I mean, okay, we know, you know, the rarity that we want these to be. We want this to be common, we want this to be rare, epic, and legendary, right? If you have any knowledge of how rarities work, then obviously we want common to be the most common, right? When we start spamming these parts into existence, we want there to be a lot more common parts than legendary parts, right? We want legendary to be like a legendary thing. We want it to be very rare. And so the way we're gonna do this is, you can do this inside of this script, by the way, because all we're gonna need to do is we're just gonna need to make a couple tables, and then a function which utilizes those tables, does some quick calculations, and then gives you the actual like thing based on its actual rarity. But to keep things clean and organized, I'm gonna use a module script. So I'll put it inside of this script. And in case you don't know, by the way, a module script is basically just a table where you can put other tables, you can put variables, you can put functions, and so on, right? So if I make a function and I put it inside of this table, then I'm going to be able to call this function from this script and any other script that's able to actually access this module script. All right, so the very first thing I want to do is I want to actually get access to this folder. So the simple way of doing this is we can just say local things is going to be equal to game server storage dot things, like so. I want to make a table of rarities and place it inside of this table. So the way you do this is you say module, right? Because like, or whatever this is called. Then you say dot, and then we're going to give our new table a name. So I'm going to call it parts, okay? Just, yeah, module dot parts, like so, and I'll make it equal to a table, right? So all we're doing here is we're just going to be putting a thing inside of this table called part, which is equal to this table. And so inside of this table, we're gonna put 4 things, okay? Those being the actual rarities. So in square brackets, right? Legendary, epic, but we're not done yet. Because if you have a keen eye, as you may have noticed, there is a very bold red underline over here, right? Clearly, something isn't right. And the reason that isn't right is because the way tables work is that when something is in square brackets, it has to be equal to something, right? So for example, if I say that this legendary is equal to 1, 2, 3, then it's fine, right? So we basically need to make all of these equal to a certain value. And what we're gonna make this equal to is gonna be the corresponding part inside of the things folder, right? So for example, the legendary, what I'll do is I'll make it equal to things.legendary. And now we have a table where this legendary, epic, rare, and common text are related to their actual corresponding items. The next thing we do is we make a very similar table. So I can actually copy this right now, right? But instead of calling it parts, because obviously we can't have two variables be named the same, I'm gonna call this rarities, okay? We'll keep legendary, epic, rare, common, the same, all of that. But instead of making them equal to items, we're gonna make them equal to numbers, okay? So here's what I mean. Out of 100, we're gonna give all of these chances, okay? So what I'm thinking, legendary, 1% chance. I'm thinking epic could be a 19% chance, okay? And I'll explain why 19 in a bit and not like 20 or 15 or something. I'm gonna make rare equal to, let's say 30%, and then common, as I said before, 1 in 5 chance, we'll make it 50%. Now, the important thing here is that all of these numbers sum up to 100, okay? So 1 plus 19 is 20, 20 plus 30 is 50, 50 plus 50 is 100. And then we're going to add a function inside of this module, which is going to use both of these tables to select a random pet using these probabilities. Okay, so I'll just say module dot choose random, or not pet, right? Random parts or whatever. And we are going to need two things. Okay, first of all, we're going to need the actual randomized number. Okay, because obviously we need to have something randomized, right? So random num is math.random from 1 to 100. Okay, and the other thing we need is a local counter, which is going to be equal to 0. What we need to do is we need to loop through these rarities, okay? And so to loop through something, you say for I, comma v in, and then you get the table. So in this case, it's module.rarities. Now in this case, I is the index, which is whatever is inside the square brackets, okay? So it's actually very simple. I is just the square bracket, v is just the value that's associated with the square bracket, right? So we're going to loop through, let's say legendary, I is going to be equal to legendary, and v is going to be equal to 1. So what we could do actually is instead of calling this I and then calling this v, we could call this rarity, okay? Because it's the rarity. We could call this something related to numbers, right? When dealing with rarities, people use the term weight, so I'm just going to go with that. And so bear with me because this next code actually might be a little confusing. So actually, I wonder if you actually would be able to understand how it works, right? But I'm just gonna guide you through it, and then I'll explain to you exactly how this stuff works. So the very first thing you do is you actually increase the counter, so plus equals weight. So whatever the weight is, be it 1 or 30 or 50, you add that to the counter. And then we're going to check if the random number, right? So if random num is less than or equal to the counter, right? Then we're actually going to return, right? Meaning we're going to end the function, right? So we're not going to loop anymore. We're going to return whatever pet is inside of here, whatever pet is associated with the current rarity. So let's say we loop through epic, for example, right? But let's say the number is too high for epic, right? So then we loop through rare, but then the number is still too high for rare. So then obviously, then the only choice left is common. So then it's going to be common. So if the rarity is equal to common, how do we get the common pet? Well, what we do is we just say return, then we get this table, so module.parts, like so, and then we're going to say square brackets rarity. This is why I named all of these the same, because if we land on common here, we're going to look for in the parts table the value that says common, which is this, right? And then this will basically give us what it's equal to, right? So common is equal to the common pet or the common part or whatever. And so just to actually test this out before I explain what this actually means, right? What we're going to do is we need to actually get this module table. So I can say local module table is equal to, and then we need to require the module script. And so instead of trying to get the part from game server storage things, which, you know, as we've just witnessed, isn't the most effective way of getting rarity, what we're going to do instead is we're going to actually call the function. So we'll say module table, right, dot choose random part. So it's going to call the function, it's going to, you know, give us our part, and so then we're just going to clone that, right? Because again, if we aren't cloning it, it's just going to take it from here and then just move it to the workspace, and then it's just going to be gone from this folder, which will quickly cause some errors. And so now let's actually try running the game and seeing if this stuff works. There we go. Look at that. Almost all of them are common, but we do have some rares. We do have, you know, a bit of epics. And interestingly enough, we don't have any legendaries yet. Something I'm actually curious about is what if instead of making it 0.1 seconds, let's increase the chance by just removing this entirely. There we go. There we go. See, we got one legendary, 2 legendaries. This is literally gambling, bro. 3 legendaries, look at that. But okay, I'm gonna add the 0.1 back on. I don't want my game to lag. So you might be wondering, how does this exactly work? You might be thinking, okay, well, it probably goes through the legendary, but here's the thing. The issue with when dealing with tables is that they are not ordered. It could, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to go legendary and then epic and then rare and then common in order like that, like when we're looping through it, right? Let's say our random number is, let's say 70. So then let's say we stumble on common first. Okay, so now counter is 50, right? Is 70 less than 50? Still no, okay? Then let's say we land on legendary, 51, right? Is it less than? No, whatever. Then we go to epic. Is 70 less than or equal to 70? Yes. So then their rarity is epic. But now you might be wondering, right? Okay, well, what if, you know, when it was still 51, what if instead of landing on epic, we went through rare, right? And then it became 81. You would be actually right. That actually then would make it rare. So what we're doing here is basically two randomizers, okay? We're randomizing the random num, of course, but then once we actually get that random num, it basically then just tries and narrows it down to as little options as possible. If this is, let's say 3, well then because now this is 3, right, and you know this is 50, this is 30, this is 19, right, then if it lands on any of these first, so if it lands on common, right, is 3 less than, you know, 50? Yes, then it's gonna do common. Or rare, is it less than? Yeah, okay, then it's gonna do rare. Or if it's epic, then yeah, it's gonna do epic. And it's not gonna do legendary because 3 is not less than or equal to 1. So the idea here is that the lower the number goes, right, the more possibilities open up. And so then, you know, having all of that in mind, when we run the game again, that's basically how it works, right? Selects a random number, and then it gives all of them an equal chance, right? However, some are excluded. Like for example, if it's 50, well then legendary is just automatically excluded, right? And in a way, if you think about this, this is actually rarity visualized, which is pretty interesting. And so while the video is lagging out, let me tell you about the sponsor of the video being me, okay? We don't have a sponsor, but I will say that, you know, if you found this system to be interesting, or actually even just educational, right? Maybe you're a beginner developer, maybe you're like, oh yeah, ByteBlocks, thank you, you changed my life, you opened my eyes, you saved everything that was going wrong in my life. Then I actually have a free series of videos where I teach like this and a lot more. Now, this is a free series and it's part of like a paid course. So like, you know, it's like 10% of the course is free and then the rest is paid, right? But the course price is increasing soon. So, you know, if you just want to go check that out, then be my guest because my course is insanely valuable, bro. And you're going to be able to script like me, which gets you this behemoth of a thing. I don't even know. What do we call it? Anyways, we are back to basics. Thank you for watching.